Hi guys, short Sunday, just a little update on my granddaughter. If you saw my Stitch Fix unboxing, I mentioned at the beginning of that my granddaughter was in the hospital. She's 2 years old, and what happened is a week ago today, she'd been throwing up and she went to the ER. She threw up what her parents thought was blood. Actually, it was something she had eaten, but of course, it happens on a Sunday, right? So they go to the ER, and there's all these different tests, and they were in ER for quite a while. And the end result was there was something wrong in there. They thought she had a blockage. Now she's 2, and she had just taken to starting to eat her hair, which apparently is pretty common with 2-year-olds. And they thought she may have had a blockage from a ball of hair. So she was sent to a children's hospital, about a half an hour ambulance ride, which she really seemed to enjoy. My daughter had very good things to say about just about all the medical personnel involved from one end of the story to the other. But when they got to the other hospital, they decided to do an endoscopy and found that with all the tests together, she had a congenital defect that results from, it's called a duodenal web. There's a new word for you. When you're first like growing inside your mom, you don't need your intestines to last, right? You don't need them until you're born. So they develop later, and when they first start, they're little segments and they're individual segments, and then as you grow, they join together. Well, I know one family where they didn't join together, and that baby had surgery the day after he was born. He's doing fine now. He's, oh gosh, 6 or 7. Well, with my granddaughter, Kateri, okay, they grew, but one of those segments was like this. So there's this extra bit of tissue and there's an opening. But it's a good thing she was eating her hair and having difficulties, just enough to clog things up a little bit so that they found this before it progressed farther. As I understand it, you can have just some difficulties putting on weight and with nutrition if you have this issue. Some people go well into their lives before it's found, not realizing what it is. So the doctor said it was a really good thing that this was happening because they found it. She is very tall for her age. She's in like the top 2 or 3% for height. She's very skinny. And nobody was worried about it because her dad is tall and skinny, and he always was tall and skinny, so they just figured she was like her dad. Now I kind of wonder maybe some of it was the digestive trouble she's had, since before she was born. But at any rate, they had to cut her open and put things back together and fix it. Some people have this a lot worse, and it's a lot more, you need to like completely cut and reattach the bowel. With this, my understanding is they just removed some of the tissue. But it's tough, and she's had a tube in her nose now since her surgery on the 26th. It's still in her nose, removing bile from the stomach until her digestion starts working again on its own. With all the surgery, the digestion sort of stopped. The poor kid hasn't had any solid food for a week. She had some liquids before the surgery, broth, things like that. But since the surgery, she hasn't had any food. And because it's taking a while for her digestion to kick back in, they put a PICC line in, which is like an IV line. In this case, a lot of these terms don't understand completely, but I imagine it's somewhat like a port for chemo. I've had other family members that have had chemo. But anyway, they have a line with her. They put it back here, and it goes in and way into the chest, like almost to the heart, and they can deliver nutrients more efficiently that way. So she has that because it's probably going to be at least a few more days before she can get food again. Now, today, and this is kind of funny, I never thought I'd be happy to hear about someone farting. She passed some gas, which means things are starting to work again. It's not quite in order yet, but it's a good sign. So hopefully within the next few days, she'll be able to go on clear liquids again. And then when they make sure everything's going through okay, she'll be able to get solids. And they want to make sure all that is working effectively before she's released from the hospital. So she's going to be in the hospital a little bit longer. But she's doing well. She came through it. She's doing as well as can be expected. She's cranky. Every time someone walks in the room wearing scrubs, she freaks out because it means she's getting poked. She has her stuffed animals, and I bought her a little set of scrubs for her, and she has a doctor kit that her parents got for her. And her stuffed animals also have tubes and wires in them. when I went to FaceTime her, she was playing with surgical tape, just pulling it off a thing. And here she is. She was 2 in March, but she's playing everything that's happening to her as kids do. So I do appreciate prayers for Kateri, and I'll keep you posted. But things could be a lot worse than they are. It's just going to be a bit of a long hospital stay, and that's always makes everybody a little itchy, you know. So, but hopefully she'll get that tube out of her nose tomorrow and she'll be more cheerful. Anyway, there's just the update, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.